I want to start with the Middle East, the remaining hostages. We could see them coming back, hopefully, within the next 24 hours to Israel. Aid trucks are already headed into Gaza. How much credit does President Trump deserve for this deal?
I think he should get a lot of credit. I mean, this was his deal. He worked this out. He sent Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, over to negotiate this, and it's so far has gone well. Hopefully the hostages get released here. Might not be within 24 hours, but certainly I think by Monday. And that's progress. And now we're going to have to see what happens next. My hope is the Saudis, the Emiratis, they step up and they do what they said they would do, which is invest in rebuilding Gaza, which 90% of the homes have been destroyed. It is such a tragic situation. It's good to see these 600 aid trucks. That should have been happening over the last 2 years. Feed people who just are starving and struggling.
You mentioned looking forward, and I should mention that you visited the region several times during this conflict. There are multiple sticking points in the 20-point plan, particularly when we get to point 6 and the whole question of whether or not Hamas will lay down its arms. How realistic is that?
Well, I think it's possible. I am concerned that they may change their minds here. They're in a challenging spot. The Iranians, their benefactor is not what it was even just months ago. So I think they see the writing on the wall here that things have turned not in their direction, which is a good thing. I think that allows us to get this deal. So this is the right time, with the right deal. But you're right, there's 20 or 21 points in this plan, and a lot of things have to happen to get to a lasting peace.
Let's turn to the shutdown of the federal government. Friday night, the White House fired around 4,000 federal workers, including more than 1,000 workers at the Treasury Department, dozens at the CDC, including apparently the agency's entire Washington office. President Trump said that the workers targeted would be, quote, Democrat-oriented, and that this was the Democrats' fault for causing the shutdown in the first place.
Well, first of all, to comment on what the president said, there aren't Democrat workers or agencies and Republican agencies. That's ridiculous. I mean, it really is. He again is trying to politicize the federal government in a way, and he's picking winners and losers. These are people with families, and they have mortgages, and they have to pay rent, they have to put food on the table. We've never seen a president do anything like this before. The vice president just said we have to lay off federal workers. Lay them off. I mean, not just furloughed because of this government shutdown. That's not true. They do not have to do this. They do not have to punish people that shouldn't find themselves in this position. And the reason they're here, though, is because this administration is about to drive our healthcare system for 23 million people over a cliff. When these subsidies go away, and they will, if we do not do something by December 31st, people's health care prices are going to triple.
Well, let me ask you about that, because you're talking about December 31st, and today is October 12th.
Yes.
And so why not follow the model that we've seen Democrats follow pretty much throughout modern history, which is keep the government open and deal with these things as part of a negotiation? I mean, you and your fellow Democrats have been voting no on bills to keep the government open.
Dana, here's why. So for months, we have been trying to negotiate with the White House and Republicans in the House and the Senate on health care. This is about the cost of people's health care. What did Speaker Johnson do? He has sent his members, his Republican members, they're gone. They've been gone for 4 weeks now. They've only worked 14 days since July 25th, I think.
Because they passed a bill to keep the government open.
They should be here negotiating. I can have conversations. Well, I can't this weekend because John Thune gave everybody a 4-day weekend. While the government shut down, he gives people a long weekend. I'm here in Washington, and we'll talk to anybody about this. We need negotiation. The president has previously said, I think it was before he ran for president the first time, that government shutdowns are on the president, and all you need to do is get everybody in the room and have a serious conversation. and they're refusing to do that. They are holding people's health care hostage. When these subsidies, if they in fact go away, people are then, they're one injury or illness away from bankruptcy.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said this week, quote, every day gets better for Democrats the longer this shutdown goes on. You just heard Jim Jordan refer to this comment as proof that in his mind and a lot of Republicans' minds that this is Democrats playing politics.
Well, for me, this is not political. This is about real people. I was on the phone with a woman from Phoenix.
But how is every
last
day
week.
getting better, as Chuck Schumer said?
I don't think this is better for anybody. I mean, this isn't better for government workers. This isn't better for us. This isn't better for the Republicans. It's not about that. It's protecting people from crazy increases in the cost of their health care. There are people in Alaska that have gotten letters that say their premiums are going from $600 a month to $4,000 a month. I was just mentioning this woman in Phoenix. Her name's Cricket. She pays $350 a month. She had an injury, a head injury recently. Her bill was $10,000, but because she had the ACA, she only had to pay $1,000. If she didn't have that, she told me she would have lost her home. It's about people like her. And there in Arizona, 109,000 people could lose their health care because of this. And across the country, the Congressional Budget Office estimated that number will quickly be up to 2 million people. And by 2035, over 3 million people.
Do you feel any pressure to vote yes and just get this government open and deal with all of that after the government is open? I understand you said beforehand Republicans wouldn't negotiate.
Dana,
but now they claim they will.
Dana, this is, well, I want to see them in the room. If they say they will negotiate, get in the room with us.
Okay.
These are not easy decisions, but we can work this out together. The administration seems to want the same thing. They want the government open. The president said he wants to solve this healthcare issue. If we all agree upon that, let's just do it at the same time.
Senator, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.